Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Baka.
I just don't know you people anymore.
Nobody knows how difficult it is to start this
Chicken's
show.
got the giggles, man.
Every time I look at Oak, I just start giggling because I can hear him internally laughing at me.
I'm not doing anything.
I can hear it.
Literally, we had to try to start this 4 times. 4 times because of Giggle Man over there.
Yeah, and
I
we're
have to cover his
starting
face
this
up.
with the hope that we can actually, make a podcast instead of it being a disaster. So we'll see if the power holds out, or the internet holds out, or Baka holds out.
Baka holds out.
Hopefully you'll get to hear Baka's beautiful voice this week, because you sure couldn't hear him last week, huh, Baka?
Say hello, Baka.
Nope. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well.
Last week never happened for him. He just skipped last
it's
week.
all a haze.
He partied a little too hard.
Well, what's up?
Too
What
funny.
games has everybody been playing this week?
I'll start off. I didn't play much. I played some Sea of Thieves. I finished Metro, and it was absolutely amazing. If you're a fan of the Metro Exodus or Metro series, definitely recommend Exodus. If you're waiting on the PC version, I'm going to tell you it's worth the wait. If you're waiting on the Steam version of this game, it's worth the wait. It's beautifully done. I got the good ending, so I did all the right things to make things happy at the end, and it very, very, just a very well done game. The ending was great. The attachment I had to the characters, some of the stuff that was going on, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. No, please don't let this happen. And then when happy things happen, you just feel it's like an emotional roller coaster near the end. So it's just really well done. So loved it, and highly recommend it. It right now, of course, I know we're early in the year, but right now, definitely nominated for my game of the year so far. So
Far. But we're only
so
in April,
far. I mean,
so you've got,
it's in April. We got time, but I'm just saying for right now, that's what I would put it at. So, but highly recommend.
I haven't been doing as much either. I played a lot of Borderlands 2 this week, and that's mostly what I've done. I started recording Red Dead Redemption 2 for a Let's Play. That will start this week on my YouTube, so that's fun. And my sister's playing it, and she's gotten to the part where it's turned into also an emotional roller coaster, Oak. So, she's with you on that one. And that's been real interesting. I started Red Dead in the first video. There's 2 restarts. No, wait, it's not the first one, is it? Maybe the second one. I got a horse, and then I ran him into a rock.
Wow,
We
you and
didn't
your sister
survive.
are a lot alike.
I was like, no, it's too soon. I swear, anytime, and especially if it's a game I love, I'm like, I can play this game, no problem. I'll do a Let's Play of it. And then I start to do the Let's Play, and I'm like, how do I play this game? I just ran my horse into a rock. I'm shooting at the sky. I swear I know how to play video games, people. I swear. But
My
Let's
favorite
Play,
is
you
the
never
fact
know.
that there's always been this ongoing joke within our little group, which is the fact that Grif cannot drive, and she's proven several times she can actually drive, but it's still been the ongoing joke. Then she says something when we think that we're confident enough she can drive, like, I ran my horse into a rock. It's a horse! Ran it to a rock.
Yeah. So, that's good. I should just never feel confident in like, I can play this, no big deal. There's no way I can make myself look like an idiot. Oh, wait. Spoke too soon.
Hold my whiskey.
We'll find a way.
Oh my god.
Oh,
So that'll be fun. That'll be going up on my YouTube this week, along with the last 3 videos for Resident Evil will happen this week too. Resident Evil 2, the Leon run, and then I'll take a week off and start Claire. So I'm feeling pretty not confident about that.
Claire's is going to be a lot more difficult than Leon's was, so you better be ready.
I'm not.
You got to
That's why
take
I'm not
everything you've
confident.
learned and be much better.
It's gonna be a lot of dying.
Probably
Probably.
will.
Probably.
Yeah.
There's where you need that death counter.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we didn't play much this week, but next week, by the way, I know it's not in the news stuff, but next week is the archive event for Overwatch. and they've started releasing the new skins. And let me tell you, 76 and McCree have skins that I will have to have. Give me.
Have to have.
Well, I mean, it's 76 in like his officer's uniform back in the
Which
day,
is
like
cool
young
as fuck.
76 in the officer uniform, which amazing. And then Jesse McCree in his old Deadlock outfit too. Yup. A+, everybody. A+. There's also Dr. Moira, which I need in my life. Hot. So.
Zarya got one too, except it
Seen
barely
that.
looks any different.
Did she? I didn't see that she got one. I saw Bastion
Yeah.
has one.
She
The
got
McCree
one, too.
76.
And it doesn't really look much different. It's like a color shift, and then her hair is 2 different colors.
Okay. Interesting.
It's probably an epic skin if I had to guess.
Everybody was
It's-
hoping that Diva was gonna get the skin from the Diva short with her like gray and yellow mech, where she's having to rebuild it after she self-destructed the first one. So I don't think we'll be seeing that one, but it would be nice, and it would go great with the Bastion skin because the Bastion skin's based on the monsters from that short. Anyway, what about you and Baka and Chicken? What are you guys been doing?
Baka.
Bit of Overwatch. Started playing Risk of Rain 2. And then I've been playing a bunch of classic games. I got a new light gun and was playing Dr. Hunt with my 2-year-old nephew.
Nice.
Started him young.
He was doing pretty good shooting the ducks.
I'm gonna replace you one day. He's gonna kick you out of our group, and he's gonna join us.
His mic might actually be recording.
Oh damn! Shots fired, just like that light gun.
Aww.
Too bad you need a certain TV to play it on.
Right. True
How about you, Chicken?
I've played even more Tetris. It's my go-to casual game. Just throw it down.
that. Still highest you got in second, huh?
Yeah. No, I've gotten my highest is 4th, right below the top 3. Right below. You get gold, silver, and then bronze, and then there was my lonely little name right there below the medals.
Next week you'll be like, I got bronze.
Hey, I just need to get. If I can get 3rd place, I'll be happy. And I've been playing Arams, of course, and I have been playing Risk of Rain 2. I bought it at the end of last month because when they announced it on the Steam deal was if you buy a copy, you get a free copy. So I was like,
I like that they're doing that
one.
with these co-op games like that.
Yeah, but that was only for like that. It was only for 2 days. So I was like, okay, it's $20. It is early access, but the reviews are super good, and I really like the first one. Fine. If you're gonna twist my fucking arm.
The footage I've seen is really good. Are you enjoying it?
Oh, hell yeah. Like, if you're okay with single session kind of gameplay where you load in, you play all the way through, and then when you die, you have to start all over again. And as the longer you play, the more the difficulty ramps up. And there are 6 or 8 different characters. No, 6 different characters that you can try to choose and play with. And I've got 4 of them unlocked so far. The last 2, I need to have specific things happen, and then I can unlock them. But the longest I've lasted is 59 minutes and 47 seconds. Not able to break that hour mark yet.
You'll get there.
Almost there. But the game is a blast. I mean, once it starts turning into chaos, it's just non-fucking stop.
It's too chaotic for me. There's no way I could play it.
Like, you start off the map's kind of slow. It's no big deal, easy. You got some monsters to deal with. You get some items, all good. And then it starts ramping up. You're like, okay, bigger monsters, more enemies. And then you start getting to I see you and ha 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 ha, which are the difficulty names.
Yeah.
And the little timer at the top, once it hits the ha ha ha, it doesn't stop.
It
Like
just
the
says,
difficulty
ha, 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 constantly.
just constantly ramps up from there. Never stops. Like, I mean, I've died to random shit because you'll just get one shot later on. It's just nuts. But I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I like how every one of the characters have such a different play style, and they're really not hard to unlock. It's just about playing it. So, I really enjoy
That's
it
awesome.
for $20. It's not that bad if you like that style of game. I think I've already got like 20 hours in it, so I'm enjoying it. If you want to see it, come by the stream. That is where I have been putting all of my time into. It's just playing that.
Which there won't be a stream tonight on Sunday night or for the next 6 Sundays because Chicken's
Yes.
got to get his Game of Thrones on.
Gotta get the Game of Thrones.
Hell yeah, last season.
That's why I'm glad I have the subscription, because then I can just watch it afterwards. I'll be fine.
I turned on my subscription just so that I could watch it. And the cool thing about that is you could watch it as everybody else is watching it too. So at 8 p.m., everybody has access to it. So I gotta watch it.
Which works out really good, because if you need to go pee, you can just pause and walk in and pee.
Exactly. It's like, hell yeah, just gonna walk away for a second. Also, this weekend was the LCS Championship. It was yesterday for first place. It was Team Liquid versus TSM. Holy shit! That game, those 5 games were, and everybody is saying, were the most intense finals that they've ever seen.
A reverse sweep for Team Liquid.
Oh,
Amazing.
yes.
Lost the first 2 games, won 3 in a row. Tilted TSM. It was amazing.
Oh man, it was rough. Like, those first 2 games. The first game was pretty close. Second game was kind of but then TSM won. Third game was pretty back and forth, but Liquid definitely had it. Like they pulled their shit together. They started playing better. Fourth game was an absolute stomp. 25 minutes, it was game over. They crushed them. Fifth game was really back and forth. A couple of absolute critical mistakes from TSM cost them, and then some crazy ass team fights. And like there was a 5-minute fight around one of the main objectives where nobody fucking died. They just kept pelting each other. It's like watching an MMA fight where they just keep hitting each other and neither of them are going down. It was intense. A lot of fun to watch. Like
I'm super
that
happy that
adrenaline.
Team Liquid pulled it out though. Like
Me
those
too.
boys deserved it.
Me too. The LCK, which is the Korea's championship, Faker won again for the first time in a little while, and he called out Doublelift. He's like, you got to make sure that you meet us at MSI. So Doublelift had to. The god wrote the script, so Doublelift had to fulfill it.
If you ever want to see a good esport with a lot of drama to it and a lot of back and forth with the teams, that's it. League of Legends has a great... I mean, it's probably because they're the ones that have been doing it the longest, but there's a lot of good back and forth. A lot of the teams, core players have been playing for a long time, like Doublelift and Faker. I mean, they've just got years worth of history back and forth in that game, so...
Yeah. Like this
Good.
one, the storyline for this one was about who was the NA GOAT. Doublelift or Bjergsen.
Doublelift.
And it was 66-34 for Bjergsen to Doublelift. So everybody thinks Bjergsen is the greatest, which it's definitely it's a good fight for sure. And I do like that Jensen finally got his first win.
Yay! Congrats
After
to Team Liquid.
He has been in 7 finals and has never won since coming over here. He switches teams and he wins.
Well,
I do say
that team just has really good synergy. You've got, I mean, just all of it's working. It's working so well.
Absolutely, I do like the little the deal that they made. Just him and Doublelift were like, "All right." Doublelift said, "I'll carry you to your first NA title," and Jensen has to carry Doublelift in Worlds.
Yeah.
Because Doublelift can't
Jensen
win
better get
outside.
his backpack ready.
No shit. But yeah, that's what I did this weekend. Was definitely jam packed, full of stuff.
Yep. Well, you guys want to talk about some news? I can't think of anything new in the news that's related to anything that we played, really.
No, it's just a bunch of random stuff so far.
Not a great news week, but still.
No, there were 40 articles for all week, and a lot of them look like fluff pieces.
But while Grif is putting up Resident Evil videos.
Yeah, that's news related.
True.
And in a way.
Okay, so basically they're selling you cheat codes now. You can buy all the in-game rewards for $4. I don't know how much that translates to. $5
It's
I think,
£4 over to US. So
yeah.
They're selling like it's the infinite ammo
about
weapons.
$6.
It's like the
$6,
unlockable
okay.
weapons like the rocket launcher and all of that stuff. The tofu survivor and the fourth survivor. The unbreakable combat knife tofu with an unbreakable combat knife. Can't stop me now.
Can't use that in there. The tofu scenario is specific.
But it's also because tofu doesn't have hands.
Tofu comes with 9 knives.
Tofu doesn't have hands to hold the unbreakable one. It's special.
Tofu
Yeah, he does.
Tofu has hands.
So you
Tofu
have little
technically
gloves?
doesn't. Yes.
Yeah, they float around him.
Oh my god, how did I not notice them when you were playing tofu? I didn't even see the gloves. Oh, that's slightly better and slightly worse because I imagined he was just like telekinetically holding the weapons. So now I know he has gloves, but there's nothing inside the glove.
So you thought he was just more powerful than he really was.
Yes. A powerful piece
Magic
of tofu.
Magic
so-
tofu. Magic tofu.
I guess I'm kind of on the fence. It's sad that, unlockables are too hard these days. Like,
I'm just wondering if part of the reason the choice was made for that was because this was a remake. So
I'd say yes and no. I'd say the flip side of that is now you can buy everything. I mean, I know they're not selling it for much, and I'm happy that they waited so long to do that. I mean, it wasn't like you could buy it the first week the game was out. It's like, play the game. Okay, you've probably, if you wanted to actually play the game, you've probably already played it. Here's where you can just buy the stuff that you could earn in game, but you don't have the time or skill, I guess. It does mean that you can't achieve S+ ranks. It disables that if you're using the unlockables and all of that. But
the infinite weapons and whatnot.
I'm kind of okay with how they did it, though. Like, I'm glad they waited. I'm glad it wasn't right alongside the launch of the game, because that would have been really dumb.
I will say, with this, though, I am sad to see the whole get good era gone. Because, I mean, you technically don't have to get good. I mean, with how many people are complaining about difficulty these days, and they want everything to be, easy for them.
Where I would look at it is this: when you have another Resident Evil game that's created and produced and done all that stuff, if they did it with that, I would agree with what you just said. But with a remake, I look at it as there's a lot of people that have purchased this have already played through this game once before in its original entirety.
Yeah, but this thing's a lot different than its original entirety.
Oh,
I know, but I think that I think that they just decided to go ahead and.
I see what Chicken's saying, though. Like, the whole get good era is coming to an end, because now you don't have to get good. You just wait a couple of weeks or months, and they'll release all of the stuff that you would actually have to, back in the day, work to unlock. They'll just release so you can pay for it. You don't have to try to get it. And I think...
Or try to lower the...
But I think a lot of people will still try. Your original people are going to still do it.
Well, your original people are, but it just is training up the younger generation that you don't have to try. You can just get mommy and daddy's credit card. So I think
$6. Come on.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's not a lot. Obviously, I'm.
Yeah, it's like games like Super Mario. You couldn't do anything. Like with the games that we grew up on, there was nothing that you could do in those games. Like you either had to get good and die for.
That's not
months.
exactly true.
No.
That's not the Nakami
Game Shark.
Yeah, you had the Game Shark. You had stuff like
that. The money to buy those,
which I also thought were dumb.
For Nintendo, for the Nintendo console, I know there were Game Shark for the Game Boy.
Game Genie was the original Nintendo, and it came with a big book of codes.
Yeah, that was fun to carry around everywhere you go to your friend's house, and it ruined your console.
Yeah,
this is the way it worked.
That was always fun to explain to people when I worked in game retail, because it was like right at the end of Game Shark's existence. Because I think you could still use the Game Shark on like DS and 3DS and all of that stuff, or DSi or whatever it was. And so people would go to buy them, and I'm like, okay, just understand you're buying this for your child. I get it, but it could possibly destroy your system that you've already spent money on. And they're like, I don't care. Little Jimmy wants to play this game. Well, little Jimmy needs to get good, son.
Yeah, that is where I stand by. I mean, just if a game is not for you, don't play it.
I think it's okay if they wait till this length of time. I just wish there was a differentiation so that if you were streaming it or doing a let's play of the game and you had worked to get the unlockables, like you had the infinite ammo everything and you had unlocked everything, I wish that there was a way at a glance to tell the difference between that and the paid for version.
I do like your whole golden gun option.
Yeah,
like if you bought them, you get plain ones, but if you unlock them, they're golden versions of it. So if you see somebody with them, you're like, oh wow, that guy actually unlocked it.
I mean, that way you can look at it at a glance and go, okay, okay, I'm looking for somebody to play this game that I know is going to be good at it. This guy is obviously good at it. You know?
Yeah.
I didn't have to pay for those.
That would be... I like that idea.
I
Yeah,
mean,
like,
you
it
still
still
get
gives
the
you-
option to buy it. It just means that you can show people that you put in the time and effort to get them if you
like
wanted
an
to do it that
actual
way.
reward
Yeah.
for it.
I think
Where, I
that'd
mean,
be
you're
fine.
not punishing. Yeah, you're not punishing people who buy it. I mean, they get it, but whoever earned it the hard
to have a
way
different
gets to
spin
show
on it.
off that they earned it the hard way. It's like an actual trophy.
Put
which-
Leon and Claire in different outfits, like give them special outfits.
See, I like their outfits as is, so I wouldn't want a whole new getup. I would just want like a gun skin, because that's what's
I mean,
changing. You know, that's what you're using. Is I have the gun with the infinite ammo. I want you to look at it and be like, "Oh my god, you spent all that time to get that thing?" Be like, "Yeah, I did."
Yeah,
And
I mean,
you know
I'm
what I
totally,
did to get this?
Bragging rights.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And that's all it is. It doesn't change anything. There's no difference in the gameplay between the one who bought it and the one who earned it. It just looks different so that you can tell. You still get to show off that you did something, but
you get
it's,
to
if
show
it's all
off
the
your
same.
skill.
I mean, you got like little Jimmy over there that played his whole childhood with a Game Shark that bought it, and he's like, "No, I totally earned that, man. I didn't buy
I like
that."
that. I like that idea too. Like for games like even like WoW, where you buy your level to a certain point or whatever.
You get
Like
a
have
specific
something
skin or
unique
something.
about that everybody knows. Oh, you paid for that. All right.
Yes.
Cool.
I think that'd be
Usually
fine because it
skill
doesn't
can
change
call that
the
out.
experience. As far as like people around you or people watching it or anything, it doesn't change the experience. It just changes something cosmetic to show the difference between a paid and a not. It's a small thing, but it could mean a lot to people.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Game companies,
I
get on
completely
this.
Yes. Speaking on somewhat of the, because I think we discussed this last week, the whole thing with difficulty and accessibility and things like that.
I don't know if we got to do that one. There was one article that we were going to talk about when we finally did realize that Baka couldn't be heard at all, and then had to. End the
I think
podcast,
you're right, because it was
I don't
because
know
I
if
said
we
we have
got
10 minutes
to-
left in the show, and there wasn't going to be enough time to discuss.
I believe
the
you're
whole thing.
correct.
So now's
But-
a great time for that conversation since we don't have a whole lot of other news.
Yeah, we got a lot of time. So last week we were going to discuss about a lot of discussion erupting about the difficulty of Sekiro: The Shadows Die Twice, and people want the difficulty modified because some parts of it are just too hard, and some people have brought in accessibility into the argument, which a lot of the comments are pretty much in the same vein. It's like, okay, first of all, you have to separate those two ideas. Like,
What is the
accessibility
difference?
does not mean difficulty. Accessibility, people who are colorblind or deaf or can't hear right or can't see right or things like that, that's fine. If you want to add those kind of options into your game to make
Or
it
maybe
so that,
have some other type of abnormality.
Abnormality.
yes, yeah,
Yes. That's the
abnormality.
word. Thank you.
Anything like that, you can add more things like
She
that.
speaks English
and
well.
sometimes. And which I even said, though, sometimes when you start trying to address certain ones, you're going to leave other ones out, and then those ones are going to say that they're not included. It's just going to be a mess. Either you got to figure out a magical way to, whenever you grab a controller, it helps everything.
that does not
Everything.
exist.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a rough world to live in. But for difficulty wise, From Software makes difficult games.
They do.
Right?
Dark Souls.
They don't add difficulty options, right? Like, the games are just difficult. You have to learn to play them and get good. The struggle is part of the vision that they want you to play. And a lot of people don't like that.
A lot
Like,
of people don't
and
like
some
a
of
lot
these-
of things.
Yeah. Like, some developers have said, like, and they're trying to use these arguments to back part of it. Accessibility has never and will never be a compromise to my vision, which I'm fine with. Accessibility is not a compromise to your vision. But changing the game because people can't play it because it's difficult, a minor thing like that, that is addressing someone's vision, in my opinion. And they're just trying to twist the words of some of these developers to say, well, see, difficulty is an accessibility option, but in my opinion, it's not.
I'm in the same boat. I feel like there's a difference between accessibility and ease of the game. If you're just not, if you're, I'm trying to put this in a way that doesn't make me sound terrible, because I obviously don't mean anything terrible. But if you're not going to be able to get to a point where you can go, okay, block, dodge, hit, block, dodge, hit, because that's how the mechanic of a boss fight works, having one button to make that easy mode is not how it's intended to be played. So that's just not a game for you.
Yeah,
It's not
there's
necessarily
supposed to be strategy into their games.
Yes. And I mean, I don't know why people are surprised, because that's the same people that made Dark Souls. And Dark Souls has set a precedent. When you're talking about difficult games now, you say it's a Souls-like. I mean, it has created its own genre just about that means intrinsically difficult game that will just spank you. And so I don't know why people were surprised that another of their games was equally as difficult.
I think the surprise comes from, it's not the surprise itself, it's one of the things that we kind of hit it at last week, which is, I think it's the genre that was there. It was, when you think of the samurai, ninja, that era, that fighting style that people think of.
Did we talk about it last week? Maybe we did.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, because I couldn't remember if it made it on the show or not.
Yeah, we talked about it. So, and basically, I think it's just that it's people wanted to play that game so bad that once they found out that it's a Dark Souls style of game that's on there. And to be fair, if you think of even Bloodborne, that game itself, the way that it's designed, is designed very, very similar to Dark Souls. This is designed differently, the same concept. Yes.
Okay.
All of them are created the same person or same group from software. Isn't that it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So those, but to me, there wasn't a whole lot of difference between Dark Souls and Bloodborne in the way that those games were designed. Where this one felt and looked different based on the way watching other people play this game looked different, and I think that's the reason people were excited about it. But I think it knocked it up a notch too in difficulty, and I don't think people expected that. But it's like, to be honest, one is dealing with like kind of a fantasy world. Well, actually, two of them are dealing with kind of a fantasy world style thing, and this one's dealing with more of a reality type thing.
But
so
I don't think that
with
changes.
some fantasy built in.
I just feel like it's silly to have expected a drastically different game because it's set somewhere different.
I think if you see the word From Software,
you should
Yeah,
know
you
what
need
you're
to
looking
know
at.
ahead. You need to know exactly
it's
what you're
the same
looking
thing with Bungie. We had all of the Halos. Did anybody, literally anyone, think that Destiny was going to be so drastically different from Halo?
A lot of people were, using Halo as their foundation.
Well, I mean but that's what it was though. It's by the same company, so their games are intrinsically going to have a lot of similarities and shared concepts and shared mechanics even. If that's a genre that you are used to making and that's pretty much all you've made, that's probably what you're going to continue to make.
I think where you run into something different is like the guy that was it No Way Out, the one with the two
brothers
Yeah,
breaking out of prison.
different whatever, and the game they had
No Way
before
Out.
that was The Tale of Two Brothers, which was an innovative game, but it was built totally different than that one is. In their case, we know every time they create a game, they're going to create something that's innovative, as long as they are able to do that.
Right.
Their style of game, they didn't set a style for themselves. Where From Software has set a style for themselves using. They go through and they go, this is going to be difficult.
We're going to make you cry.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
We're going to make you grind through this game and learn how to get good. I mean, it's the way the game is designed. And I mean, we should all know that. And I think I think we take for granted as people that have to follow the news, have to follow certain things that are going on in the news, that we know about each one of the developers or even the publishers, certain things about them, where the general public, we don't realize, even good gamers, people that game and do stuff all the time, don't necessarily know who's developed the game, what's going on, and what those people's past histories are. Because I can have a conversation with a really good gamer, and they're like, "Really?" And I'll go, "Yes."
I just don't understand that mindset either. Like, when a game is coming out that I'm excited about, I'm like, what else have they made? What's it going to be like? What can I theoretically expect from it? Like, I've been doing that my whole gaming career.
But I think that there are other people that, I think that's the reason you end up with high sales on some of these games that we're like, I'm not touching that until it's
I
released.
guess
I think
so.
it's is because they're whatever the pretty picture is that they're showing you. The rest of us
I
that are
guess-
educated about it are gonna go around going, "We're gonna wait a sec."
The
Just-
other
Yeah,
side of that
let's
too,
look at
though,
it.
is then if you are disappointed because you bought a game not knowing what to expect from it and are disappointed by what you got, that is on you. Educate yourself before you spend money. Educate yourself before you spend money and then complain about it. So, I
But then
mean,
people have to say that they did something wrong, and nobody likes to.
no, nobody wants to admit their own fault.
But learn from your mistake. You don't even have to say you did anything wrong. Just learn from it. Like, okay, well, I didn't like this game. Who published this? Who developed this? Okay, I need to remember those names because they might put something back out there that has a nice, pretty picture to it, and I might want to buy it, and I need to know who it is that's doing it. So that's how you adapt.
Kind of
and
like
change.
LJN on the old Nintendo games.
Mm-hmm.
They made a lot of crap.
Yep.
Uh,
Exactly.
One of the comments is from a developer from Bayonetta, and he said that the having the one button mode, easy automatic, in Bayonetta didn't make getting pure platinums any easier. It didn't ruin your experience. It did make myself and others receive many comments from the new Bayonetta fans who could never otherwise enjoy the game, which I feel is fine, but it's different. Like what From Software makes versus what Bayonetta is two different entities. Like Bayonetta is hack and slash, just chaos slash.
Mm-hmm.
But Sekiro and Dark Souls, they're slower paced, more skill based games, and if you don't have access or can't play that, that's fine. You don't have to play everything that comes out. And reading this, like I don't even understand what the point of playing this game would be. But Matt Thorson, designer of Celeste, tweeted out a Celeste-style assist mode for Sekiro that would let you set combat speed, resurrections, invincibility, among other things. If Sekiro had a Celeste-style assist mode, combat speed 50 to 100% sets game speed while enemies are aggroed. Resurrections +1 are infinite. Invisible while sneaking. Infinite posture. Invincible while drinking the gourd, or always. Like, I mean, if you have those kind of assist mode, is that even like playing the game at that point? Like, is that what From Software is trying to get from you?
I think you are playing the game. I think it's one of those where, like, 'cause Celeste is notoriously a hard game too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that what he's saying, based on the fact that the way he created his game, he did it because he knew that not everyone is going to be able to play the game at the same level.
Right.
So they're giving you the ability to be able to. And to be fair, I would actually even do it where it does the 50 to 100. I would do 50 to 150. So for those people that really want it, because that's how you do it. You make the game harder too for those people that really can go through the game, and figure out a way to make the game even more difficult for those guys. Because that way, at least you're going, I can lower this down if I need to get better at it, or want to be able to have that experience. But if I'm somebody that's just like, you want to see what's fucking cool, if you're a streamer that's really good at that style of game, now you turn around and you pop up and go 150% for everything, or whatever the numbers are, right? And everybody's
I'm
like,
crazy
what?
and hate myself. 150.
Yeah. Whiskey and 150%. That's all I got.
Like, I understand the accessibility and the difficulty options, but I think they should be separate arguments, and I think we shouldn't cry too loud if the developer wants to make a specific style game and you can't play it.
I get the argument, because I mean, I've seen the argument that how somebody else enjoys a single player game shouldn't change how you enjoy a single player game. So if you're playing on the normal difficulty, which is like hell version, and they're playing on the one button mode, it shouldn't bother you. But I think that that's not because it bothers me as the person playing it. I think it's because the developer doesn't want to have to dedicate time to making things difficult and then setting all of the markers so that if you push the easy button, it lets you just smush through the game. Like, I think that they had a vision for that game, and that's their vision, and that's how it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the other option to it is
like
make the game
our
moddable for PC. Now somebody can create the mod to give you that mode, correct?
I think there are Dark Souls mods.
There probably
I
is. I was
believe
going to
there
say, I think on PC
Yeah,
you
there
can
are.
probably...
Right. So
In
as
a
long as you're
risky
on
way,
Steam
mod
where you can
everything.
actually have mods.
Yeah, buy it on PC. Greatest fucking platform. PC Master Race. If I had longer hair, I would do it, but
PC Master Race whilst we're
Me
fighting
too.
amongst ourselves about the Epic storefront.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if it's that much of if it's that much trouble and you want to play it that bad, and you can, without any abnormalities, then just play it and get good. And if you do have
think
a problem
abnormalities.
into which you what?
I wouldn't say abnormalities. I would just keep going. Never mind. Just the language.
Okay, well, instead of correcting me, she just tells me I'm wrong. Any problems playing the game? If you do have any problems playing the game, then bring that up to the developers and see if they can help you figure out, or you can help them figure out how to make their game more accessible to people with issues.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like we talked about before, Microsoft now has a new controller for people, just specifically for that. So that does give them an option that they wouldn't have had before. And I'd be very interested to see how that, might change. Hey, I was never able to play a Dark Souls game, but I can play Dark Souls now because of this controller. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
For those people that were incapable of playing because they couldn't hold a controller correctly or whatever it happened to be.
Right. And I would love for, if you folks play Dark Souls and don't complain about the difficulty, they are the ones that need to have a conversation with the other folks who are like, I have problems playing games, but I can still play this fine.
I have seen the accessibility argument be used too often by people who just want it to be easy for them. It's not that they have claims to being differently abled. It's just that they're using other people as their reason for making the game easier.
Yes.
And I think that that's a really low thing to do anyway. If you're not good at the game and you are perfectly able and whatnot, don't complain. It's not your place to complain about that.
No, buy PC and download the mod.
Yes.
I mean,
that's,
there you go.
At the end of the day, that's why it's there.
And I understand advocating for other people, but I've seen more of it come from the let's make it easy. Oh, by the way, it's because of accessibility. Than I have seen the argument of let's make it accessible because I can't play it at all. It just seems like a lot of people are using that as a crutch, and you're not speaking for someone at that point. You're speaking for yourself and using someone as an excuse, and that's low. That's really low, and you need to be a better person. Also, you need to get good.
We're pretty much about the opinion of getting good. Improve yourself, people.
I know people don't have a whole lot of time these days, but you don't have to play literally every game that comes out ever. Yes. And if you do, it's because you have a job that asks you to do that, and maybe you should talk to your employer about the fact that you have too much to do. Right. So, just a consideration there.
In other news that we've got on here, one that seems to be the theme that happens over and over and over again when the name Sony comes up, which is anything that's cross-platform in any way whatsoever, we are not friendly to. We are not gamer-friendly in any way whatsoever. So what actually happened is Bungie had the plans for Destiny for cross-platform characters, so you could actually move your character over from one platform to the other. And it seems as though Sony is the one that stopped that from happening by going, we want everyone to associate Destiny with us.
Even if that means screwing over other players, end quote.
Yeah, well, that was somebody else saying that, but yes. So Sony is just like them saying that, but yes. Yeah, and to be fair, that kind of is the way it is. And Bungie really needs to...
Somebody's driving a lawnmower over the house.
I don't know.
There's anyway.
Somebody. But Bungie really needs to just stop the exclusive deal with whatever it is that they're doing. And
if they're in a contract, they may not be able to yet.
Well, they were also in a contract with Activision. Although the counterpoint to that is they just broke off with Activision, which probably means that they need any extra money they can get. And if that means they get extra money from Sony for being exclusive in certain ways, they're probably not going to stop that, especially not now.
Or shop it back home to Xbox, to Microsoft.
Hopefully by now,
our
Xbox
contract's up next week.
Microsoft hopefully would be the bigger man in the party, I guess, on that one, and be like, all right, instead of being like, I'm sorry, you what now?
No, I can, the way Microsoft are being these days, I guarantee they'd be like, come back home. Come back home.
Open arms. Probably.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
That's interesting,
so many
though.
levels. I would be interested to see too, though. I feel like you could still do the Windows to Xbox one, like make those two characters to where you can move back and forth. Since I guess maybe you would have to have the Xbox version of the game instead of the Bungie Net one, or not Bungie Net, Battle.net. Yeah, so it would be interesting. I don't know, but I like the idea, and I like the fact that Bungie's toying with that.
Yeah, Sony is just so snooty.
Sony wants to protect. I get what they're doing. They want to, in their mind, what they're doing is they're protecting their property, which is if you have exclusivity or you have things that are specifically associated with your console, even if they're not exclusive, it will drive players to your platform, which means you will make more money in the end. And that is why they're doing it, is because, you've got friends on Xbox and PC, but you also have friends on PlayStation. You have to play on PlayStation to play it. You have to be over here supporting us to play with those friends over here. And that's why. I mean, they're doing it from a very overly protective mindset so that there's not money being shared across, whereas the other platforms seem to be way more open to that.
Yeah, well,
Especially
everybody's
now.
starting to get open to that now, yeah. Like, Nintendo's like, we've been in our own little corner for so fucking long. Let's
We're
hug
starting to feel
everybody.
lonely over here, you guys.
Let's hug everybody.
Microsoft's like, I like good hugs.
And PC's like, come on, I guess.
PC's like, all right, fine, bring it in. And then Epic's over there just like crying in the corner going, no! Shut up, Epic.
Like slowly stealing out of PC's wallet.
Too funny. One of the rumors that's been going on around for a while, we've talked about, we'll just kind of give an update on, which is that the Xbox One S all digital version is supposed to be coming out soon. It looks like it will be officially revealed this coming week. And on that, it's some really weird preloads. I understand the Sea of Thieves and the Minecraft one, but then you have Forza Horizon 3. Not 4, but 3. It's being put onto that.
Okay.
How big's the hard? I need to know how big the hard drive is. Like, that is the number one thing I need to know. 750 gigs. That's
terabyte.
1 terabyte.
Oh, is it 1 terabyte?
It's 1 terabyte. Yeah.
I was looking for. Okay, this will be 1 terabyte. That's
so it
not
looks
big
like,
enough.
Looking like it's like
Nope.
I need 5 terabytes, motherfucker.
206. Well, you still have the little thing. I've got an attachment on mine.
I need 5 terabytes inside of that thing. I need it to look slick. I don't need cords just.
They're trying to keep it at the
octopus.
$260 mark there, chicken.
Yeah, then I'm gonna have to buy another one. And don't they want my money? Granted, I'm not gonna buy that. I've got my own discless console over here.
Your PC.
I was reading the comments on this, and the discless Xbox One is going to cost like the same as one with a disc drive. Is that right? $260. It says it's $260 in the article. What number? How much does a regular Xbox cost right now?
That's like $30.
Xbox One S. Yeah.
Or $40.
It's a $40 difference.
An Xbox One S at Walmart is $200.
Oh, okay.
So you pay $60 more for them to keep the disc drive?
I'm wondering if
What?
it's there. Well, what it's saying on here, because what it did was convert the retail for 230 euros to 200 pounds, and then to $260. Now, to be fair, that doesn't mean that that's the price we're going to get in the U.S. That's just what the price is over in Europe.
Yeah,
and it's been converted.
Europe.
So Europe
over there.
Super south version of Europe. Europe.
Europe.
No, he's
So we're gonna call this Eurogamer.
Sorry.
But yeah, so most likely it'll be, what'd you say, $200 is what the other one is now?
I guess a cheap version of it, $200. It looks like it's between $200 and $260 for the Xbox One S.
You're probably looking at right around $200 if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Very interesting.
We'll find out next week. So.
I guess in surprising no one news, there was an actress that was talking about Horizon Zero Dawn and mentioned that you're gonna die when you see the next game, which hadn't been announced yet. But guess what? I mean, but really, legitimately, nobody's surprised. That game did so well for itself. It was so well received. I mean,
I would hate to be the lady that spilled the beans on accident. Like, I mean, you're talking casually. Okay, so what it says is they were just talking casually, and at the Star Wars Celebration event, and the lady said, "Just wait until you see the sequel. You're gonna die. I know some secrets. You're gonna die." And she's like, "Oh, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, you're recording it? Cool. Yeah. Can I get you a quote on that real quick?"
Right.
So if there's an NDA for that, someone's about to get in real
to be fair,
big
though,
trouble.
like, who didn't know or expect there was going to be a sequel to it? Really? I mean...
Yeah, it does not surprise me.
Hey, come on.
I would be surprised if it's coming out for PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I guess that would be the surprise, because it seems like they're slowing their roll on all of the first-party stuff that's going to come out for PlayStation, because they're waiting for the launch of PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
Rumored
it definitely
to be next
seems
year,
like
but we
it.
haven't heard anything about it, so...
We might see it this year at E3.
They're not
Sony's
going to
not
be
doing
there.
E3.
Oh, well, we'll see it at whatever the hell they're doing.
PSX in December.
I guess.
They'll save it all the way to December, be like, next month, you guys! Ha!
By the way, actually, well, no. What would really be funny if they announced it right before Christmas, and it launched it like the same day that they announced it.
That would be so much. That would be so many problems just waiting to happen.
That'd be
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Console
How do
at the
you-
holiday.
It's happened before.
Yeah,
and
but
how do you keep that secret with all of the employees at these places?
yeah, because I mean,
and the
places like
internet
that,
now?
if it goes on sale the same day or something like that, or even like soon, they will already have arrived at the retailers. It's not like a bunch of GameStops are going to keep their like part-time minimum wage employees silenced
Well,
somehow.
Unless
That's
they
gonna get to the
like,
internet.
unless the store manager for all the stores that are going to sell them is the only person that knows. So that's a lot less
It's
people
still
that
going to
you
get
have
to the internet. Somebody's going to say something to their buddy on accident, and then their buddy is going to go post it on Twitter, and it's going to go viral. There's literally no way to keep that kind of stuff secret these days.
Then Sony just pays the internet gods and then they remove everything.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Too funny. So, as we mentioned, was the Star Wars Celebration. Well, along with Star Wars Celebration, someone leaking the Horizon Zero Dawn, we also had a new trailer for the movie that's coming out in December, which is awesome. And then right after that, we got the first footage of what we hope will be the first decent Star Wars game in a really long fucking time.
It's
long
a trap.
fucking time. It is
is
a
a
trap.
trap.
I can guarantee. It's from EA. It's a trap.
Yeah, it's from EA. And I would like to point out that EA is, at this point, saying they will not put microtransactions or loot boxes into the game. Okay, so you made BioWare add microtransactions into a game that they barely were able to produce as a multiplayer game, or at least a co-op, and then you took this company, Respawn, which is notorious for a lot of their multiplayer stuff with Titanfall, and said, make a single-player campaign, no money. EA, you can't just buy us like this. We know what happened with the last Star Wars game. We know what just happened with Anthem. Do you really think we believe you?
Them saying that they're not going to add microtransactions or loot boxes is like, okay, guys, we're not going to stab you this time. Okay, I promise.
We're not going to stab
give
you
it to
at
you,
launch.
we're not going to
Give us
stab
a few
you.
months, and then
Nope, they said no. They said no to that too.
They said, but EA is notorious for lying about shit too.
They are. They definitely are. It's from EA. I want to watch this one come out. I will probably play it if it's decent.
But before it's Star Wars, I'm gonna buy it because it's not fucking Battlefront. Anyway, it's single. It's what I wanted.
You know what?
You're giving me a single player
don't
fucking
buy
game.
It, do the Origin premiere.
True.
Oh, there you go. That's not a bad
Do the
idea.
Origin
And I would
premiere,
also
'cause
like
you
to
know
point
they're gonna-
out that they canceled the Amy Hennig single-player campaign or single-player Star Wars game because they were like, "Who's gonna play that? It's not gonna be fun to play." EA, you
But to be
cannot
fair, we
make
never-
me praise you for fixing a problem that you fucking created.
But to
It's
be
like,
fair,
oh, shake you, and then I'm gonna heal you. We're
to
good,
be
right?
fair, we didn't play the game she was creating either, and it could have been the game just wasn't fun, which would be very surprising since it was Amy. But you never know.
But their
I just-
argument was they that no one wanted to play.
Yes, no one wants to play
Yeah.
a single player.
But
Star
since
Wars
there,
game.
you've had like 4 or 5 different single player games that have come out.
I'm
that
not
have
gonna
been
give
unbelievable.
EA any sort of leeway on this. I'm gonna have to see it, and I'm gonna need it to be out
Yes.
for a few months with no issues at all. I mean, because EA too many times has done
honestly-
we're gonna give you this. Oh wait, just kidding. Here's this. Now shut up. We're just gonna kill the studio instead.
I think they're doing this specifically.
I don't think they're killing Respawn. That's
because
their honey
they're
child right now.
they're afraid that Disney has kicked up LucasArts again, and EA doesn't want to lose the license back. So they're like, okay, we actually have to
know.
make something good. Holy shit! Respawn, make something really, 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 really good in Star Wars, and don't put any microtransactions or whatever. Get as much goodwill as possible, please, Disney gods. Don't take away our license.
I'm just
Which-
interested to see how it's gonna be once it comes out and everything too, because I'd like to know, honestly, I'd like to know how long it's been in production, what it's gonna be like, because I mean, how long have we been working on this to coincide with this trailer and this Star Wars celebration that happened, like that we haven't heard anything about it, that we've seen previous Star Wars games from the same publisher be canceled and their studios, disappear completely and things like that, like. How quickly was this made, I
wouldn't-
guess, is what I'm asking.
I wouldn't be surprised if they dug up some of the other games that they were working on.
Probably. I mean, if you've already got assets made and everything.
As
you
long
own
as it's
them.
not made with the goddamn Frostbite engine.
It's not. It's actually being used with Unreal 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it's.
Actually
Unreal.
says it in the article.
Yeah, I was about
Oh,
to say.
no.
I think it said. I
Oh no, that
skimmed
means it's
a
gonna be
lot
an
of it,
Unreal
so-
exclusive. They won't even put it on their
Epic
own
Store?
store. They're gonna put it on the Epic Store alone,
I
and it's
think
like,
Well, there goes the whole premium idea right there.
yeah, I
No.
know that everyone's head's just going.
EA likes
What?
money too much. They're gonna put it on Steam because it's gonna sell. So I mean, that's why they put a lot of their other stuff on Steam too.
When did EA buy
By
Respawn Entertainment?
I don't know.
Before Titanfall, the first one.
Yeah, I was
Was it
gonna say,
before
wasn't
the
it before?
first
Because isn't it
Titanfall?
produced by them? I say as the Xbox is sitting right behind me. It's got
Yep.
the EA logo on it. Just checking.
When did
I see your
when
brain
did they
working over there.
when did they cancel their last
Last summer, wasn't
Star Wars
it?
game?
Didn't we talk about it?
We did talk about it, but I don't remember when it was that it was canceled.
EA canceled Star Wars game is literally the first thing in the Google search thing. January 15th. 2019. EA cancels open world Star Wars game.
This year?
That's what the article, let's see.
That can't be right.
The Visceral
No,
Games
def-
one?
Yeah. Well, I know they killed Visceral Games.
I thought it was last year.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh wait, it says they shut down Visceral Games in 2017. So what's this?
There you go.
Why is this posted in 2019? In January?
I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Thanks, Kotaku.
Okay.
So there you have it.
So-
2017 is the answer because it was they did the shutdown and the move to Respawn at the same time. So you're looking at almost 2 years of production.
Well, no. This one says that Stig
Yes, really.
Osmussen. I
That's-
probably butchered the shit out of your name. Joined Respawn Entertainment in 2014
Probably.
as the studio's game director, leading the studio's second development team. So they started up this second team back in 2014. So it's been in development for 5
Hopefully.
years.
Hopefully that's what they've been working
It's
on the whole
probably
time.
been in limbo for a few years.
Because I mean, I'm
So-
thinking 2 years. Anthem's something that was in production for 6 or 7. I can't remember if it was 7. 6
It
or
was
7.
7 years.
7 years in production, and that's what
5
we got.
years
2 years.
of-
Woo. I don't know,
5
man.
years.
Yeah,
Just
but
fucking
there's a
around.
little bit of difference between that and single player because like
I
at
mean,
least with
to be
single
fair, Anthem is a single player game that you can have 3 other people play alongside you. It doesn't change anything. Just
And
partly
the
why
Star
it's disheartening.
Wars and the Star Wars fandom are a lot more ravenous than new IPs. Like if they do anything wrong, them motherfuckers will butcher you.
Yeah, but they
and
still
just
decided to
eat
go
you
ahead
alive.
with the bullshit that was Battlefront 2. It's not like
And you
EA
saw what
hasn't done
happened?
things
The
with
fucking
blinders
Darth
on
Vader
before.
thing, like, just destroyed the goddamn internet. EA was, like, afraid to leave their house. They're like, oh, God, what the hell's with these Star Wars fans?
Yeah, they were
What
afraid
you
to
want?
leave their house for
Star
like
Wars
5
fans
minutes.
Get
And then...
passionate.
Oh, yeah, is that the word we're using? Passionate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, real passionate.
Well, I guess we'll find out when it comes out what it's going to be like, but...
This year, November 15th.
I just want to remind
Yep.
everybody that we've seen a lot of really good-looking footage for a lot of really promising properties from EA and other companies before, and they've once you have your hands on them, that 5 minutes of footage they showed you looks great and everything else is questionable. So just keep that in mind, knowing how EA has been in the past. But you can look at it with a little bright side, I guess, in the fact that everybody's right. They are trying to do something incredible right now in order to hold on to their licensing of this property since LucasArts is coming back. And they know that they've got to do something better than Anthem, which is kind of disappointing that they didn't try harder with Anthem.
Well, it's because nobody was fucking telling people what to do with Anthem.
Yes,
Like,
Anthem was a
everybody-
rudderless ship.
Yeah, it's like, no, it was a captainless ship. Everybody was just down on the main deck going, who's steering? What? Oh, whatever. But we'll just drift until we land somewhere.
Did you see that somebody found a one
Yeah,
of the little codex things in the world where it's like, I asked the Arcanists what the meaning of this world was supposed to be, and nobody seems to know. It's basically a writer having an existential crisis, and they just put it in the context of the game. They're like, nobody
Yep.
seems to know, and isn't that worrying that nobody knows what's going on or what the purpose is? It's like,
of this world for centuries. It's like, yeah, I feel you on that one.
poor BioWare.
Yeah, they've unfortunately got shafted so hard.
They got
I
shafted
hope-
hard, but they also, it was internally at BioWare that they shafted themselves too. It was not just EA. That was like two bad things colliding.
I blame
to-
it on the higher ups, like the I don't know, the minor people, I guess the developers across
the
the
people
floor.
that actually were doing the work were doing what they were told for the most part. It's just they were being told 30,000 things that changed every 15 minutes. And
Like, hey, I want you to work on this. Okay, cool. No, I was just kidding. I want you to work on this. But, okay, I'll work on that. Why aren't you working on that? It's like, I swear to God. I swear.
I will say, though, an EA game with no microtransactions would be a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I know, right? We're living in, like, a smog-filled gaming...
I wonder if they'll go back to
horrible-
calling it DLC, because you remember when DLC first started, we had horse armor for Skyrim, it wasn't Skyrim, it was Elder Scrolls, and which is still Skyrim
Holy
universe.
shit, you're right. They're
But
not
people
going to do
lost their little
microtransactions.
nuggets because it was just armor for your horse. Oh my god! And now we call those microtransactions instead of DLC. Well, they just turn around and start calling it DLC again. You can get your vanity pack DLC. It's microtransaction. No, it's a pack, so it's DLC. It's microtransact. We have a new word for that. We made a whole word for that. Maybe that's how they'll work around it. No, this is DLC, you guys. Oh.
DLC is not now like a whole expansions.
Well, DLC is additional content that adds to the story or things like that. Whereas we think of microtransactions as things that change your cosmetics or, add a few new weapons or something. But they just, package it together and be like, it is DLC, because it's more than one thing. So it's not micro. It's a pack.
It's macro. Microtransactions.
This is downloadable content. There's
They're
multiple
macro
pieces.
transactions.
Too funny. Macro.
If somebody was going to be sneaky like that, it'd be EA, though. And you know it.
Oh,
Everybody
hell
here
yeah.
knows it. Anyway, what else we got?
That was
I
it.
think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Hey! What?
Wow, we
Right.
finished under an hour. If you can hurry up and wrap this up in 30 seconds, it'll be under an hour
30
show.
seconds.
30 seconds.
Like a
29 seconds.
micro machine,
We
man.
appreciate everybody that hangs out with us each and every week at Infinite Respawn. As always, you can check us out on Twitter at InfiniteResPC. Check me out personally at MDB Oaktree. Check out Grif.
At Grif Slanum.
Check out Chicken.
That'll eat chicken through a 3.
Check out Baka.
Baka Pickle.
Also, make sure that you go to Grif's YouTube channel, where currently she's going to put the last part of the Resident Evil 2 in there and start on the Red Dead Redemption series. Boom. And then also make sure you go to twitch.tv/EliteChicken313 or mixer.com/MDV Oaktree to watch us stream. Boom. Done.
Dang.
Good.
Boom.
You're
All right, I think.
5 seconds over.
I started the show a little after a minute, so I think you got it in time.
Okay,
You're
everybody
full
say
credit.
bye so we can leave. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.